So there's this television series called Severance on Apple TV. Really great television. Yeah, you should watch it, definitely. It's very popular, so I'm guessing many already do watch it. Don't need my recommendation. Uh, and then while watching it, I kind of realized that it is a good example of uh, or illustration of my concept of power brains. So power brains, according to my theory, is this conf- organization of experiential agents whereby two or more experiential agents attempt to dominate the same corporeal body for insofar as it is perceived by everyone else. And in the series Severance, you have people who go have this procedure where after it they whenever they go to the office they get split, a different personality, a different person with different memories animates their bodies until they come back from work. So this is a good illustration of how power brains function. It's just like in the series, the innies, the people inside the workspace, and outies, the people as they are at home, have no awareness of each other's memories, and are, as far as they're concerned, they are in control of their bodies, and they are not completely unaware of the other's life. In the series, they know that the innies know the others exist, and outers know that the innies exist, or so they're told, but they never actually are aware of them. As in, they don't really. They're not aware of them. So this is a good example of the innies and the outies in terms of the theory would be power peers. They are using the same brain, but they are different experiential agents for all intended purposes. Now, that said, the theory does argue that actually power peers exist in parallel. They're not unlike in the series where they interleave. It's either that they act as an inner and or as the outer. The theory argues that they actually there is something that's like to be them at the same time, as far as it's perceived by other experiential agents in the wakeful physical world. However, it's not really clear what happens to in the series. Like, you can see that the innie like the outie disappears as once they go into the office, and the innie takes control. But it's what's not being displayed and is not really clear is whether the outie is there but cannot remember anything. Now, this, of course, no one really cares because it's a television series, but think about it this way. When you have in a power brain, you have several power peers all trying to dominate the same body. The one that gets to dominate gets to also encode the memories embed the memories into the body, because they are in control over the physical brain as far as it is preserved in the wakeful physical reality that they share with everybody else, what the theory calls the wakeful union. So even if you have you experience something, when you don't have the experiential dominance, when you cannot control what is going to be embedded inside the brain, then you experience things, but you never actually remember that you experienced them because you don't get access to the brain, because the brain is molded by the parapir that is in control, or the brain of the ini gets to control the brain while the ini is in control, and the Audi gets to control the brain while the Audi is in control. Now, the reason the theory doesn't, the reason the series doesn't even assume that there's possible that both operate at the same time is because they're not aware of the theory. They assume physicalism, basically. The series is the same as everyone else these days. They assume that it is the brain that produces consciousness, that produces the experience. And the brain can, if the brain is now busy producing the experience of the ini, it cannot be busy at the same time producing the experience of the Audi. But the theory argues that the brain doesn't produce the experience of neither. So and therefore there's no reason why one has to exist. Only one parapir has to exist at once. The other parapir, let's say when being the ini, the outer becomes like a subconscious. And actually in the series there is you can see some scenes, like for example when you see Irving remembering the paint of his he's actually a painter in his outy life, and he sees like the paint, the black paint oozing when he's as an ini, and that would be kind of like what a parapir would, how a parapir would affect you while it's subconscious. It doesn't have access to memories, but it still feels things, and it can therefore perhaps trigger some kind of experiential response. I mean, of course, the series is not about this. The series is a great, it's a great science fiction series, and it's a great drama and a great television. But still, you don't have to. It's not so far fetched. Like if you think, for example, about the effects of intoxication, where you get blackouts. It's basically the same thing as this severance thing. Like you have, someone is still in control of your body when you're in a blackout, but nothing gets recorded. The funny thing is that, let's say if you're blacking out because of alcohol and you lose memories and you're in a blackout, the next time you drink sufficiently, then some of these memories come back, because the theory would argue that this happens because of something that the theory calls experiential alignment. Its experiential agent has an alignment with the physical wakeful world that is unique to it, so you can embed memories into the brain for one experiential agent and embed them in parallel with another experiential agent, because they have a different experiential alignment. And in the series, they actually show that they have like different frequencies for each experiential agent, each the ini and the outie. I mean, of course, this is all. I'm not saying that the series actually is aware of the theory, but watching the series is a good way of, like, if you have problem understanding the concept of para brains and parapirs, it's a good introduction.